Are you
Are
serious?
you jealous or what?
What are those fucking Big Bird shoes?
They're Adidas, just like
Huh?
you. They're Adidas, just like you, custom made.
Custom made Adidas. You asked for the wings?
No, they're not custom made. A very famous designer. I'd love to talk to you, about these, but Dave Schaller is telling me we have to wrap up. Unless you want to say something on the record about it.
I am horrified.
Are you jealous?
Yeah.
Do you want a pair?
Burning with envy.
Are you okay though? I was asking, are you okay?
I'm good, yeah,
I was asking
thanks.
more about the Patriots situation.
Oh, Patriots, yeah. Hey, listen, we got further than you got, buddy.
Well, anyways, let's not talk about that. On Saturday night, you've got the UFC flyweight title fight. And of course, we're being joined by UFC President Dana White. Wanted to ask about the commercials. That it doesn't say flyweight in the commercials, and you know how we get all upset about that kind of stuff. Was that done on purpose?
No, somebody just asked me about that. No, it wasn't done on purpose. You know, these guys are just promoting a championship fight. There's nobody. And every day when I wake up, walk around, I'm never concerned about the flyweights. Like, oh my God, the flyweights, they're not going to do this. It's crazy. That never even crosses my mind. It's like me thinking that I shouldn't have headlined Ronda Rousey I don't think like that, ever.
And I got to go quickly here because I know you have to be somewhere in like 3 minutes, so I'm going rapid fire. Do you think in this sport filled with alpha male fans and fighters, people are like, oh, the 125ers, like they almost look down on them, and that's why they have been kind of slow to embrace them?
I don't think so. I think it's one of those situations where, you know, people felt this way about the 155-pound division once too, and they said that 55-pounders could never headline a card, and it's ridiculous. It's stupid talk. It's, you know, the sport is evolving and growing, and these guys deserve to be here and deserve to be headlining. You know, Demetrius Johnson's one of the greatest fighters in the world. You know, he's a world champion. He's the fastest guy. Well, we'll find out on Saturday if he's faster than John Donsett, but they're two of the fastest guys in the sport. It's exciting.
How annoyed were you that Rampage was playing video games up here? I'm
not annoyed at all. I mean, Rampage is a grown man. He's gonna, you know, he's. I'm kind of bummed out, and I feel kind of sorry for him that he's doing this. I don't know why he's taking this approach. Listen, if you want to be mad at me and mad at the UFC and you know, you feel however you feel. I feel like I've been there for Rampage. I feel like I've done right for him. You know, I haven't kept it a secret. I've said, you know, the guy came out with an interview and said skateboarders make more than him. Rampage since 2007 has made, from 2007 to 2012, $15.2 million in the UFC. I know a lot of skateboarders. It's weird, but I actually kind of live in that world. I'm into that, skate and surf and stuff. And, you know, unless they're talking about Tony Hawk or Rob Dyrdek or one of those guys, skateboarders aren't making $15.2 million.
Your gut, what does it say? Is this his last fight in the UFC?
What I was going to say, too, is in the way that he's acting, the way that he treated the media today, you know, the media is here to ask you questions and talk about, this is part of the deal. This is how this works, you know, and, you know, I actually feel kind of sorry for him. I just think whatever he's got in his mind, he's playing this thing the wrong way. You know, when his fight is over, we're either going to do a new deal or we're not going to do a new deal. We'll see what happens. But, you know, I just think he's handling this thing the wrong way.
Do you think he comes back? At the end of the day, do you think he fights again in the UFC?
I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens.
What is your gut saying?
My gut's saying nothing. I mean, I don't know. We'll see how this thing plays out and what happens. My philosophy is always this, and it's not just in the UFC, it's in any job that you have. Whatever your job is, you have to like the people you're working with, and you have to like what you're doing for a living. And if he's that unhappy here and he hates it here so bad and feels like he's been so mistreated and hasn't been paid enough money, then he needs to find somebody that can make him happy and that he's happy working with.
What about your gut for Josh Barnett? Will his next fight be in the UFC?
Yeah, I mean, we're interested, so we'll see what happens.
And how about, I spoke to Nick Newell. You remember this guy that I asked you about him? Yeah. He says that he actually tried out for the Ultimate Fighter. He made it through the whole process, and at the last minute, they said, someone either on the Spike side, this was in the Spike era, or your side said, thanks, but no thanks. He even got licensed in Nevada, all this stuff. Why not give him a shot?
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
Do you know about all that?
No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that till you just told me right now.
Maybe like women, there'll be a shot for him one day in the UFC. We didn't think women last year, right?
Maybe.
John and Chael have been very chummy. Does that take away from the build of the fight?
No. You know, I don't know how chummy they've been. It's
very chummy. They're doing all these interviews together. They're like best buds now.
Far from it. You know, yeah, Chael Sonnen is a mental warfare genius. You know, and the way he treats different people that he fights it's very interesting. You know, if he would have acted that way toward Anderson Silva probably wouldn't have fought him. You know what I mean? And now, from day one, when he walked in with John, you see the Ultimate Fighter the other night when
It was
he
great.
And says, "Hey, John, what's up? Didn't expect my morning start." John's like, "What the fuck? You know what? You know?" And throughout the season, you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay. It's very strange. He is a unique individual.
2 last questions before they kick me out of here. Anderson Silva, will his next fight be against Chris Weidman?
Chris Weidman's injured and won't be back.
He says he'll be back in the spring. You said Anderson wants to fight in the spring.
We'll be back in the spring.
He's in Chicago and says he's trying to track you down to sit down with you to ask for the fight.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens.
Has he hit you up yet?
He has not.
Well, he should.
Okay.
And finally, what is going on with Nick the Tooth? I cannot recall a person in the UFC being pushed this much and getting this much attention since maybe, I don't know, Ronda Rousey.
How's he being pushed?
You're wearing T-shirts.
Yeah, it's
he's in your video blogs.
My friend, and I thought
he came out of nowhere.
I thought
Everyone wants to know what I get asked this question all the time. Who is Nick the Tooth, and why is Dana talking about him so much? Explain to the people who this guy is.
Well, it's not what I'm talking about. He's one of my longtime friends since we were 14.
But that was never introduced to us.
Okay, so he's one of my friends since I was 14 years old, and you know, he started taking jiu-jitsu and got into jiu-jitsu and stuff, and then the whole Lozon thing happened, and he's been traveling with me. You know, he travels. He's retired. He doesn't work anymore.
How old is he?
He is 44. He's 44 years old.
He's retired.
Retired. He's been retired for like 10 years.
Okay.
Been retired for like 10 years. And he just, you know, he does whatever the hell he wants to do. Sometimes he'll come hook up with me, you know, and he'll be on the road with me for a month, and then I won't see him again for 3 months. You know, he's off doing something else. And then the Nick the Tooth, I saw something the other day where it was like, oh, he's trying to sell these. Now, I haven't tried to sell one Nick the Tooth t-shirts. I have 3 Nick the Tooth t-shirts, a blue one with the picture of him that we did, and then the one that says Nick the Tooth, and a black one. That's it. We're not selling Nick the Tooth t-shirts. We're not trying to make Nick the Tooth famous. He's one of my friends. He hangs out. He's in my video blog, and he's a maniac.
All right. Thank you for the time. Good luck on Saturday. And if you want to talk about selling, if you want, I'll sell them to you.
Yeah.
Game worn, as they say.
You couldn't give those away. You couldn't give those away.
Don't be hating, Dana. Thank you for the time.
All right.